like a corporate event, like I'm playing at a private party, they always have a sound person, right? Like when Jake tours, the same sound person will follow him everywhere he goes. So, so they got it down to a science, like how to get the sound that Jake wants. And sometimes when I do a private show and we do a sound check, the sound person, maybe in their head, they kind of imagine the ukulele as kind of like a chalangalang instrument. So, they try to give me that extra twangy sound and so it's really hard to work with them. And the thing is, I don't know exactly, like I don't really understand, how the soundboard works. Um, but I can definitely tell like this is not the sound. So I'll try to guess, yeah, that maybe the highs need to come down. I don't know. I'll just try whatever. But sometimes we start running out of time, and I don't like the sound. And when you don't like the sound of your instrument, it's really difficult to play. So I understand exactly where Jake's coming from. But hopefully we can try to figure something out. But yeah, and it's so funny because if you're just listening on Facebook through your phone or something, I mean, for the most part, nobody's really judging the sound quality, right? As long as it's loud enough or something. But but yeah, no, Jake usually has the best of the best sound guys working with him, so he's a little spoiled. I told him, spoiled boy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, did I miss somebody? Okay, everybody good? Okay, so I did get um, I did get a few recordings sent to me, so I listened to all of them. I commented back. One thing is it's kind of the same thing. So I wanted to start off like this. So we're going to kind of talk about the same thing. Last week we talked about trying to connect a feeling, right, an emotion to your playing, okay? And the thing is, we have to kind of understand first of all, because this is like the biggest issue I see with a lot of players is even though your feeling is there and you're trying to get the feeling inside of you, okay, I got it, and then you start playing, okay? So now you're actually playing the song and you feel it. So sometimes you feel like it's coming out, okay? But it's not quite coming out, and it's usually for the same reason, okay? And I'll get into it. So imagine if I started the class like this. Hey, everyone, how are you doing today? Did you guys practice this week? Today, I have a lesson plan for you guys, and we will cover. Okay, so, and let's say I continued like this. Okay, the weird thing is, I'm basically just telling you guys what we're going to do, but because I'm reading it, can you guys notice how, like, 50% of you is focused on what I'm saying, but 50% of you is just trying to hear me read this. You're a little bit focused on the words I'm saying, and you're not actually just taking in the information that I'm trying to provide. Okay? So a lot of times when you're playing, it's the same thing. Okay? Even if you have that feeling when you start playing, because of the way you play, half of me is trying to focus on you playing chords and notes, and the other half is trying to absorb the song. Okay, so if we can get past that that part where I can just absorb the song, that's when I'm going to start picking up the feeling that you're trying to give out. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this in a way that I've never explained this before. And I think a lot of it has to do with just kind of understanding what we're doing. And hopefully you can kind of understand too, like when you play, you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about, okay? So the first thing, and I talk about this a lot, is we're trying to connect our notes. Oh, okay, so maybe something like this. One more time. A little louder. One more time. Okay, instead of, okay, So here's what I want you to do, just to try and help you understand this a little better. Like the do re mi scale, do re mi fa sol la ti do. Okay, let's just say do. Okay, I want you to say the scale. Do 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 do. Just try it at home. Nobody can hear you. Do 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 do. Okay, do is a very hard word to say and connect because it's such a hard. I forget what that term is in music, but do 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 do. It's hard to connect each do just because of the word. Now try la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, I'm not a singer, okay? But you're gonna notice when you say la, it seems so much easier to connect the notes just because of the word. Okay, so those are hard to connect. La is a lot easier just because of the way. It's not a really strong sound. La. La 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 la. Do 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 do. Right? So there's a big difference. So the way you pick and the way you play is pretty much your do or your la, okay? So when I connect notes, let me go more this way. When I connect my notes, if you watch the way I'm picking, it's a very easy, simple, it's not a very strong, okay? This would be like your do. And now you're gonna try to connect the notes. It's very, very difficult, okay? If you're picking away, that's even worse. Okay, so the first thing is just your thumb. Okay, so I know this is very basics, but the reason why I'm repeating this lesson is because I know that it's very, very important. And from what I've been hearing, you know, I feel like, and it's not just you guys, it's really, really common. I mean, nobody really teaches these things. So it's hard for a student to understand, you know, that this is important. So fingers underneath, and you're just going to relax. Just pick your string. Okay? And here's what we're going to do. C, D, E, F, G. So listen to this. See, so the notes are connected. Okay, it's not like this. Okay, I'm connecting it. La 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 la. And I'm not going do 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 do. Okay, la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, so I want you guys to take a couple of minutes, okay, and the whole class today is going to be just these short lines, and we're going to practice connecting notes. And what I want is, I'm hoping some of you guys will be willing to unmute yourself and just give it a go. Okay, just 5 notes. It doesn't have to be fast. Okay, who's that?
That's Vicky.
Vicky, okay, let me find you. Okay, one more time. That's pretty good. Okay, so that was your best one yet. Okay, hold on. Okay, try it one more time.
Uh,
That's all right. Okay, so good. So that's pretty good. But I like how now you're trying to listen for it. So when the string stops, you can hear like, oh, wait. Let me try it again. Okay, and it's just a real, on some notes, what note was that? I think on the F. I
huh?
think the last time you did, I heard you pick it a little firm. Like that. So try to balance it out. Better.
That was better.
Better. Good, good. So you can hear it, right?
Sure.
Good. Okay, so that's good. So keep practicing that. Work on that. Thank you. Anybody else? Oh, that was good. Okay, who is that? Who's that?
Linda.
Linda. Okay, one more time. Oh, you cut out a little bit. Try it. Good. I like that. Yeah, good, good, good. So that sounds connected. That one, not as much. Okay, Linda, is that still you?
No, that was Angie.
Okay,
Acar.
okay, okay. One more time. Okay, so could you hear the buzz there?
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's hard for me because I can't see you, but it sounds like, wait, try it one more time, please. Okay, good. So you're pretty close. I feel like we talked about this before, the timing of your left hand and the timing of your thumb. So when you pick, my thumb and my middle finger have to pick at the same time.
At the same time.
And that's how you, so I think it almost sounds like your middle finger or your left hand might be just slightly too fast. So I'm going to exaggerate it, but it's going to sound like this. So you see how the strings stop?
Uh-huh.
So I'm exaggerating. It's not that bad, but to me that's kind of what it sounds like. You're picking, finger goes down, and then you pick.
Instead of just connecting it.
Yeah, so every time your finger goes to, your left hand goes to the string and you don't pick, you're basically stopping the sound, right? So when my finger goes to D, listen to this. See how it stops the string?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't want that silent, like I don't want anyone to hear the string stopping. So what I want to do is as soon as I pick, as soon as I put my finger down and I stop the string, that's when I want to pick. Even when I let it go, I'm going to let go and pick at the same time. So that way you don't hear the stop. Even if I go slowly, right? So even if I go slow, you don't hear like a stop, right? So that's the
That's
idea.
the main goal, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main goal. So good, good. Because see,
Okay.
as we listen to each other, we can kind of start hearing it
Start
together,
picking, yeah.
right? And that's really important, okay? Because of course, I can either do it correctly or I can exaggerate it and do it way wrong. But it's hard for me, it's a lot easier for me if we all just kind of practice together, we all kind of hear different things. And what you're going to notice is after a while, the things that I say, the comments, you're going to feel like, you knew that's what I was going to say. Okay, and that's how we actually learn together a lot faster as a group. So
Cool.
so I don't only want the ones that think they can do it well to demonstrate. Even if you think you cannot do it well, still just do it because then I can try to help you.
We can learn from it, yeah.
Learn
Well,
together.
thank you. Thank you.
Good. Good job. Anybody else? Okay, who's this?
It's me, Bruce. Kelly.
Oh, okay, wait. Let me see.
Try to give it a go.
Okay, go for it. Okay, try slowing it down a little bit, just because we're practicing. And let me hear you try it at around this speed. Better. Okay, try it again. Okay, I think it's the same thing. It's not coming out as smoothly as it could be, but I feel like it's the same thing. It's when you change notes. As soon as you change notes, that's when I'm hearing these slight little stops. So try it one more time. Can I see? Okay, since you have your video on, can you turn your camera down a little so I can see your ukulele?
better. There we go.
Good. One more time. Okay, so that was better. I don't know if you're doing it like that before, but I noticed this time you're keeping all your fingers down.
Oh, okay.
That definitely makes it. Try one more time. Good. Yeah, that's a lot better than the first few times. Good. So you want to try to get used to that sound, right? Because once you get comfortable with this sound, every time you buzz or you stop, you stop the string, you'll start to notice it, okay? And that's the thing. It's how can I get you guys to notice these small little subtle things when you practice and when you play. Okay, so hopefully that's what we can accomplish in this class. And there really is no, like this is exactly how to do it. You have to kind of listen to yourselves. And then if you find that you really have a hard time, then, just ask me. And then now is the time where I can actually listen to you. I can watch you. I don't mind spending 5 or 10 minutes on you if we need that much time. Okay, but since we're all here, now is the time to make sure that you get the improvement that you're looking for. Because if you're just quiet and you can't do it, I won't know, right? Okay, so don't be shy. Okay, anybody else want to go at it? Okay, who's this?
Laura.
Laura.
Laura, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have my video.
Okay, that's all right. Go ahead.
Oops.
One more time. Okay, so same thing, the timing. And the reason why I know it's the timing is because I can only hear it when you go from C to the D.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the E, it's open, right?
Yep.
So the E sounds. Let me hear you do this, Laura. Let me hear you do this. C, D, C, D. Okay, sorry. Try to go a
I can.
little
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I can hear it. It's very
Yeah.
subtle, but I can hear the
Mm-hmm.
pick, stop, pick. Good. So this is a really good exercise too. Right? So in fact I want everyone to try this. So Laura, yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
I think this will help you. Thank you. So
Thank you.
everybody try this. Take your middle finger off the string, take your thumb off the string, and then just time it. Just do this. Off, on, off, on. Okay? And I think a big part of this is it could be your eyes want to make sure you're on the right place first. So you want to get there first and then pick. Because I noticed that's how most people learn in the beginning. You check your left hand, then you pick. You check your left hand, then you pick. Okay? But that's the problem, right? You do your left hand first, you're killing the string, and then you're picking. So try this. See if you can do this 10 times in a row. Pick. It's 1. Off. Pick. 2. Off. Pick. 3. Off. Pick. 4. Off. Pick. 5. Maybe this angle might be better. Off. Pick. Off. Pick. Okay, you're trying to develop this timing. And then if you get comfortable with this, try it with F, 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 G. Okay, so try it with D, F, and G. Okay, so fingers off and pick. Okay, so I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Go for it.
Bruce, question.
Mm-hmm.
When I left my hand, so like, see, when I left, I produce an extra sound.
So you're talking about this, right? Right? This
Yep.
C.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So actually, when you take it off, okay, and it depends. It really depends. Like sometimes your hands are stickier than some nights than others. But what you want to do is instead of taking it off straight off like this, try to kind of slide it off. Like not really slide it. You're not sliding it off, but come off the strings a little. Let me go closer. Oh, a little this way. Okay, and not everybody will have this problem though. So only if you find yourself having this problem. Okay. Okay. So I take it out in slow motion. I'm kind of pushing it off this way, sliding it off the string. Instead of instead of doing this. Okay. I know that sometimes in some places, I know that when Jake travels, he travels all over the place, right? I don't know what makes it sticky. I guess the humidity would make it sticky. I would think if your hands are a little moist, it wouldn't do that. But for whatever reason, if he does feel that, he does have like a moisturizer lotion thing he might kind of put on his fingers or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is. So hope that helps. Did you try washing your hands? When was the last time you washed your hands? Were you eating ice
7 days
cream?
ago.
Oh, maybe that's it. But you know what? If your hands are really sticky, the pull-off technique, that might be really easy for you. Okay, good. So give it a go. So the timing. Is anyone having a difficult time with this? Okay, so here's the next run I want you to try now. Instead of this, try just D, F, G. Okay, and we'll just try to think of it as a game. Okay, if you can hear the string stop, okay, so forget about timing and all of that. If you can hear the string actually stop, then something's wrong. So if it sounds like this, that's not good. Try to time it. See, my pointer finger is not on F yet, so just like that drill we practice. Okay, so and same time. Did somebody just join? I think I heard someone join. So what we're doing is we're picking the D note, F note, and G. D, F, G. And the idea is when you play these three notes, you should never hear the sound stop like this. Let me see. So you don't want it to sound like this. You want to. Oh, okay. Could be. Sometimes the calluses will actually catch the string when you take it off. It's all the dry skin, yeah? So that's happened to me before. So D. Okay, and then Kelly, this would apply to the same thing. If you just keep your fingers down, that's one way to definitely do it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, is that the way to do it, to keep it down or lift them?
Well, for this exercise, yeah, I mean you should practice chicken because most of the time when you're playing a song, picking a song, you're not always going to be able to leave your fingers on, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and just remember, we're focusing on timing. This is what I'm really hoping everybody will accomplish today, is getting the hang of just doing this. Okay, D, F, G. Anybody want to go for it? Volunteer? D, F, G?
Okay, I have a go.
Okay, go for it. Good. Try again.
Goodness.
Good. Oh yeah, I can hear the C string. It is, yeah. It's pretty loud, yeah, when you take it off.
Yeah.
That's a pretty loud. So what you could do is you could try moisturizer. If you have
I just did, but still doesn't work much. Actually.
So is your callus pretty bad?
Um,
Kind of hard. Maybe you could get a nail filer and just kind of, file it down a little bit.
I don't think it's too bad, but still make the sound.
Maybe just get a shower.
It's just a skill.
Okay, try it one more time though.
Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, so it's good. So I don't hear any stops, which is good. Okay, and then also keep in mind, for those of you that are also listening, the sound quality isn't that good. I'm assuming it's because of the mic, right? So I'm not judging anybody as far as the sound quality because, the laptops, iPhones like that, the mics are pretty bad. But I'm just listening for the silence, okay? So I didn't hear that. So that's good. Okay, anybody else?
Can I try, Bruce?
Okay, sure. Who's this?
Angie.
All right. Go for it. Good. Try it again. Little louder, a little more firm.
Oh, the mic is a bit bad. Wait, I just
Okay,
go
okay.
nearer. I just go nearer.
Okay. I can hear a little bit of pause, very slight, but try it again. That's better. That was better. Try again. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. Angie, are you keeping your fingers down when you do it, or are you lifting them?
No, I lifted them up.
Oh, good. Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay, good job. Okay, so you're gonna notice now just these little exercises, because of what we're focusing on, they're a lot harder than you think, right? Because you have to think more, you have to focus on something different. And D, F, G. D, F, G. Okay, what we're trying to do is we're trying to play this without having any silence in between the notes, like this. So this is what we don't want. Who's this? Someone just came in? Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're playing the three notes, D, F, and G. Okay, and the object is we don't want to hear any silence in between the notes. So we don't want this right here. Okay, we don't want to hear the stop, stop, stop. Okay, you want to hear just the notes. Okay, and to do this, we're practicing timing. Okay, so if you just joined and you're a little bit lost, why don't you try this exercise first? So we're taking the D note, our finger is off the D note, and I'm going to put it on and pick at the same time. So off, pick, off, pick, off, pick. Okay? What a lot of us were doing before was like this. Hold down D and then pick. So it's kind of like this. D, pick, D, pick, D, pick, D, pick. But what we want to do is hold D and pick at the same time. Off, and try to do this 10 times in a row. Okay, just like this. And then later on, you do it with F. Off, pick, off, pick, off, pick. And then finally G. G, off, G, off. Okay, and then you put it together. D, F, G. D, F, G. Okay. Okay, so go ahead, give it a go. So I think someone just joined, right, just now. We're basically picking D, F, and G. D, F, G. And we don't want to hear we don't want to hear the string stop like this. We don't want to hear that. Okay, so you practice by doing this. Take your finger off the C string. Okay, so we're going to go D. You notice how my finger is off, and I'm holding it down and picking at the same time. Okay, who's this?
Ching here.
Okay, wait, let me find you. Okay, go ahead. Good. Yeah, I can hear the stop after the F. Cho, try back up from your computer a little bit because you're a little loud. Okay, your F. So, okay, so Cho, try mute yourself real quick. Let me explain one more thing, and then I want you to try again. But your background is a little noisy, so I'm gonna just mute you for a little bit, okay? Okay, so Cho is doing the opposite of what I was saying. Can you remember how I said you put your finger down first and then you pick? So this is pretty common. Finger down, pick. Finger down, pick. Okay. Cho is doing the opposite though. With the F, she's actually picking F and she's letting her finger go, which also stops the strings. So now she's going D, F, let it go, and then the G. So you want to hold that F all the way until that G comes in. And to be honest, in this case, you could actually leave the F down. Okay, so Cho, you're actually doing something a little different. You're stopping the string by letting it go too early. Right, you're doing this. But if you hold it down, see how much longer it rings out? Versus, so you're going D, F, G. Okay, so just try to work on that part. Okay?
Can I try again?
Of course. I can still hear a little bit from the F to the G. I tell you what, try this, Joe. Keep this finger down. Better. Try it again, a little slower. I can still hear it stop a little bit. Okay. Keep your finger down on the F. Let me hear you just do this. So just like this timing exercise. Just keep. Again. One more time. I cannot tell if your ring finger is too early. So are you leaving your pointer finger down?
Yes.
Okay, then it's your ring finger. It's this finger here. Try it again. Yeah. So okay. So if try again. Okay. I I can. It's getting a little better though. Try it. Keep going. Try it one more time. Okay, you know what? I think you're doing this. This is another possibility. You know, after you pick F, are you putting your thumb back on the string like this? Are you doing that?
Yes.
Okay, don't do that. So this is another way to stop the string when you go, you know. So maybe that's what I'm hearing. Okay, so almost. So remember, don't touch the string. Don't touch the string, and then same time. Remember this drill? This pick. So right now, my ring finger is not touching the string, and my thumb is not touching the string. So you pick, pick, pick. So pick. Still hear the stop. Joe, do you are you kind of like are you camera shy?
No.
Would you mind if you turn on your video and I can see you? I think I could
Okay.
be more helpful. Let me see. Wait, let me find you. Okay, let me see. Okay, I can only see your right hand. That's fine. Let me just see your right hand.
Um,
Okay, yeah. Okay, so first thing I want to address is you see my thumb. You see my thumb? It's pointing down like this, right? It's really difficult to pick when your thumb is pointing down, and that's why you're getting such a harsh sound like this. Okay? You want your thumb to be pointing up. So, so put your four fingers underneath the ukulele, and you want your thumb to kind of point towards your left shoulder. And just kind of relax. Right? Okay. So, okay, Cho. So from the beginning, put your four fingers underneath the ukulele. Maybe you have to go a little bit deeper. I'm about right there, maybe like right around where your fingers bend. Okay, and my elbow is going to go straight back. And you see this big gap in between, you know, I want that gap. That's a very important gap. I don't want to be flat like this. Okay, so I always say it's like you're swimming, put your fingers underneath, elbow back, and then let your thumb rest on the string. Okay, let me see your right hand. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Oh, you're still pointing down. That's better. Now just rest on the string below. Okay, oh, you're so loud. Okay, let's just try the E, just the E string, the open E string. Okay, I want you to pick as soft as you can. Oh, E string, E string. Softer. Can you pick softer? Better. Can you pick softer? Good. That looks pretty good. Good. Are you plugged in, Cho?
no.
No? Wow.
No.
Okay. So again, pick a little softer. Yeah, I like that. I want you to pick like that all the time and try again. Okay, let me hear you do this. Okay, listen. Cho, E, 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 E. Okay, so Cho, you're doing this. Watch my right hand. You're doing this. I'm exaggerating, but so this is kind of a problem. You don't want to always come back and rest on the string. This is what you want to do. You want to pick up. So I'm not touching the string. Then E, up, E, up. Softer. Pick a little softer. Okay, so Joel, I got a really good exercise for you. I want you to do this and pay attention to the tempo. This is just open strings. Four string. That's better. Okay, so you're picking a lot better now. So a little softer. Good. Yes, I like that. Okay, so this is how I want you to pick. Let me see you do this. Softer, softer, control the volume. Yeah, that looks good. So right now, okay, go back to the top. Go back to the top, Joe, and stop. Just stay right there. No, go back to the top, stop. Your thumb right now is pointing to your left shoulder, okay? And because of that, no, don't dig in. You're starting to dig into the string. Just stay right, yeah, let it point to your shoulder. And then with this part of your head, this is how you go down the string. You're not gonna bend your thumb like this. This part, you're just gonna go down. And rest on the string below. Good? Good. Now go through all four strings softly. Okay, good. So you have to try to get more comfortable with your right thumb first. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Okay, try to pick softer. Softer. Good. Again, that speed. I mean that volume. Good. One more time. No, that was too loud. Okay. So basically, whenever you do this, Cho, that kind of means your finger's getting stuck in the string. So every time your finger starts bending down like this, you're gonna get stuck, and that's how you're getting that big sound. So what I want you to do is practice consistent. Watch my thumb. One more time. And what you're doing is something closer to this. See how my thumb's starting to point down? Okay. So for now, what I want you to do is just focus on that this week. Because, I mean, you can always try the other things, but your right hand is very important. You have to get more comfortable with this first. Okay?
I must always rest on the bottom string, is it?
Yeah. That's correct. That sounds better. Okay, and then later, practice this again. And I want you to be as soft as you can. Good, again. Good. Okay. So, Cho, can you hear how some strings are really loud? Like once in a while, like it's soft, and one comes out really loud.
Yeah.
Can you tell that your finger's getting
Yeah.
stuck? Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
That's what you have to focus on for now. Yeah, and then once you get comfortable with your right hand, the other stuff will be a lot easier. Okay, so it's hard for you to do what we're doing now because you gotta kind of get more comfortable with your right hand first.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. All right. Anybody else want to try?
I will.
Okay. Who is this? Linda?
Cindy.
Oh, Cindy. Okay, wait. Oh, that sounded good. Wait, hold on. One more time. Okay, try picking a little harder.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Okay, a little louder. Good. I like that. That's pretty close. I can still hear a really slight pause from F to G,
Okay.
but it's very slight. So it's so slight that I wouldn't advise you to change anything, but just, be aware of the pick, the timing of the, like it's off and pick at the same time. Okay, so, but it's close enough where, yeah, I would say don't change anything, just keep focusing on it. And as you practice, it'll get easier.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, good. It seems like we're making progress. And hey, why is Michio? Michio, are you here? For some reason, I think you're calling me on Zoom. Are you good?
Sorry. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay. All right. So
I try. Sorry, it's not. I try to. I'm using the iPhone all the time, but
okay.
now I try to use the iPad. But the iPad I cannot, link from your
Oh,
YouTube community because I can access to the
oh,
community. So now I
I
try to
see.
interface the iPhone and the iPad.
Okay,
So
from the iPad, if you want to join from your iPad, I don't know why, but you have to download the YouTube app.
I did.
So, really? So if you
Even
go,
that I have a latest update is YouTube app,
oh,
but still I can't get this in the community.
oh, that's strange.
So
Because
that's why I try to interface. Sorry, it's not both are you.
oh, oh, okay, okay. Oh, I'll try to look into that. Okay, so as we're practicing this, right? We're trying to get the timing so that our phrases, whenever we play a phrase, oh, that wasn't a good one. When we play a phrase, we can make it smooth enough where nobody's going to be focused on, on us trying to actually play the notes. Like, here we want to make it smooth. Okay, so basically I'm just picking notes. Okay, this is not a song. Okay, but if you connect the notes well, it's still kind of easy to listen to, right? Okay, but now if I were to play it just a little bit where it's kind of like, right, it gets a little bit more difficult to listen to now and just kind of take in the melody. Can you guys agree on that? Right? So the thing is, the hugest difference, I mean, when I'm like, let's say I'm doing a performance and it's a simple melody, I could play a little melody like and with the background going, and I'm just playing these notes, then people can listen to the song and say, "Oh, I really like that song. That's a beautiful song." Okay, but now if I do the same thing and I pick like this, right? Now it's a completely different story. I would probably not get hired to play that song ever, okay? And it's such a small difference, okay? So that's what I want you guys to kind of understand is that this is the biggest difference. And I know I talked about it before, but when I was younger, Jake used to um, perform these songs and he would teach them to me so I could play it and I would play it the exact same way as he did. But for some reason, when he played it, everyone would say, wow, that's awesome. And when I played it, everyone would say, hey, you're pretty good. And I couldn't understand the difference, right? And that's all it was. You know, I could, even if I decided, like, you know what, I'm going to play it faster than Jake usually plays it, thinking, you know, as a kid, thinking, if I play it faster, then it's going to be better. But the thing is, it wasn't coming out, you know, the way that it's supposed to. And it's kind of like the same thing like I'm talking about. Like nobody wants to hear that. But if it's smoother, two, three, four. Okay, so the way you play is very, very important. Okay, so that's all we're trying to do today. And then, like I was saying, right? Like anytime you guys want to send me a piece, you know, maybe you're working on a song, you need help with something. I promise you, if you email it to me, send it to me, I will definitely listen and I will definitely give you feedback. Sometimes it might not be right away, but sometimes it is. But yeah, I'm always, oh, my email is, let me type it in here so everyone can see it. ukuleleessence@gmail.com. Oh, wait, let's say private. Wait a minute. Everyone publicly. Oh, wait. I put in my email, but it says it only went to one. Oh, everyone in the meeting. Okay, let me do that again. ukuleleessence@gmail.com. Yeah, so you can always find me there. Okay, so for the last few minutes, just to kind of wrap things up, I don't know for sure if Jake is going to do another live next week. He's still debating. And I think he's going to talk to his manager about a few things. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, you know. So you want to play your ukulele so it can kind of deliver your message, and you know, so you want to get to that point where you know all these little things like just being able to pick a nice melody line. Right, something like that could be such a nice melody line. You know, just a simple melody line, and to be honest, the better you get at connecting your notes, the easier it is to play songs. That's kind of what it is. Like, you know, I always talk about this, but you know, like really good singers, they sing, and then all of a sudden for like a minute they can just go off and do like these oohs and yeah, baby, ooh, ahs, and it, hey, you know, and it sounds great, and it's like, but that's cheating. You're not even singing words; they're just making sounds, and it sounds great. And that's the thing, right? They have such a nice voice that they can pull that off. And you know, today we're kind of on our way. We're trying to accomplish that. Okay. Okay, yeah, Kelly, we can do that right now. Is that you or somebody's playing? Somebody
Yeah,
wanted to share.
yeah, I just think it was like a slight. Let me just. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Try it. Try again. I can hear. Oh wait, is there Oh, hey Vicky, I'm gonna mute you for a little
Oh, I'm
bit.
sorry.
No, no,
I
no
didn't.
problem. No problem. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, no problem.
It does sound a little buzz. I mean, but to be honest, the speakers on here, you know, like from, I mean, the mics and from what I'm hearing, even through the demonstrations when they were just kind of practicing, a lot of it sounded like they're buzzing. So it's hard for me to tell.
Okay.
But you should be able to tell. I mean, does it?
Yeah, it sounds off.
It does.
Yeah.
What kind? What I mean, what kind of strings do you have on that?
I don't remember. Oh, time for new strings, huh?
Maybe. I mean, you could try that. I mean, most likely, if you were to take it to your nearest music store and tell them that you notice you have a buzz, usually they can fool around with it and fix it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So anyway, so if Jake decides to do the Facebook Live again, I wanted to know, well, because I mentioned that I wanted to see if you guys had any difficult questions that you would want to know about Jake. Because I think I was telling Jake that, as long as I'm on there and we're talking about ukulele related stuff, I think it's not too bad. But then if we're not going to talk about ukulele stuff, then he should just be playing music, right? So I was wondering if you guys had any questions that you might want to know, and I could ask him. So I'm going to be asking all the classes, and I'm looking for about 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 questions that might be interesting to you guys. Okay, well this one I know for a fact. He always uses the Dario strings, and as far as getting the tone, okay, one of the things that he does a lot too is, because we use a pickup, okay, there's something called string balance, and string balance is very, very important because string balance is basically when you plug in, you want to make sure each string is about the same volume. Sometimes your C string can be very overpowering, very loud, and what happens is it takes away from the melody. So if your melody is here and it sounds like this, and your C string is like loud, then a lot of times you won't hear the melody as much. So that's something called string balance. Jake is always fixing his string balance. One way we test the string balance is we play A, B, C, and then we play it here. We play there. And we play there. So of all the strings on my ukulele, my G is slightly lower in volume, but I'm okay with that. As long as my A, I want my A string to be slightly louder. Okay, so that's pretty much what it is. As far as tone too, fingernails, he's always filing his nail down to make sure. Even for me, I like my nails a little bit longer Jake pretty much uses all skin now. Skin will give you a warmer tone, but sometimes when your nail gets a little too long, it'll snag. It'll start to snag that you get stuck. So when I start to feel that, that's how I know I should trim it down a little bit. But to be honest, as far as just picking and just getting a nice tone when he plays, it's really just basic techniques, like things that we talked about today, things that sometimes it takes, it's not that easy to do, but it's kind of funny because as a teacher, when Jake plays something and people go, wow, that's so beautiful, it's the basics, you know what I mean? It's the basics that gives him this warmth, so how all the notes connect, And of course, there's a lot of feel to it, the way he plays. He really delivers his song or his story well. But it really is a lot of basics. The worst performance he's ever had. Oh, I know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say, "Oh, my worst performance ever." Bruce, remember that show where we had to play together? That's a good one. I'll ask you about that. Okay, worst performance ever. Jake actually plays a little bit guitar. He's actually a pretty good guitar player. That's about it, I think. In high school he played drums for band. Let's see. I mean, I want one that, you know why? Because I know if I ask him, hey Jake, do you play any other instruments? Or oh yeah, so people want to know if you play any other instruments. He'll probably say I play a little bit guitar, or he might not even say, he might just, oh yeah, I just play the ukulele. And the thing is, he's actually a pretty good guitar player, but like him, he's a world-class ukulele player, and he's played with some of the best musicians all over the world. So I think it's kind of difficult for him to say, oh yeah, I play the guitar, but he's actually pretty good. So I want a question that will really make him think. Okay, as far as stretching out your left hand, okay, so sometimes, let's say we're holding a chord like, what's a big stretch for me? We can try something like this. Okay, so maybe barring space number 5 and putting your baby finger on the A note, space number 12. So this is kind of farce. Or let's try this. Let's see if you guys can do this. So bar the second and high E, space number 7. Okay, so now the thing is, you cannot actually stretch your fingers apart more, but there are little things like by bringing the ukulele closer to your shoulder, that kind of gives you a little bit further reach, okay? The other thing is, if you can let your thumb go, you'll realize that you can stretch a lot further without your thumb, okay? But now, how do you squeeze the strings without your thumb? So sometimes what I'll do is I'll hold the ukulele back here, and I'll hold it kind of tight. So now, as this is pulling backwards, my elbow is kind of going forward. So now I don't need my thumb to hold this. And it's because this is pulling back and my elbow is pulling this way, so it's kind of holding it down. So like without my thumb, I can bar the second and go all the way to maybe F sharp, which is space number 9. Oh. Which is a pretty tough stretch for me. Okay, so I wouldn't say that there's ways to stretch your fingers, but there's little techniques you can do, like bring it closer to your left shoulder. You can get a little more spread. And yeah, and if you don't use your thumb, but I can't think of one situation where I have to stretch that far. I would usually just find a different way to hold the chord. Okay, so anyways, if you think of some questions, you guys can always email it to me later. Okay, ukuleleessence@gmail.com. No, that's a really thing. I mean, I was gonna ask Jake about that yesterday, but I was I felt like I needed to get off and Jake needed to play, but I didn't realize that his whole plan was to just keep me on. So so even when I left, he's like, oh wait, let me just play one song, and then yeah, I have a question for you, and he just made me sit there, watch him play, and left me on the thing. But that to me that is a really good question. Like for me, since Jake is 5 years older than I am, I've always had an older brother to look up to, right? So I never really had any influences besides my brother as far as playing the ukulele. But the thing that I'm always curious about is, now that Jake is who he is, I mean, when he was learning, he was inspired and learned from many, many different musicians. But the thing is, I mean, he's kind of done something that nobody has done. So I cannot imagine, Jake saying, like, there's nobody that Jake could have said, I want to be the next something. Like there's a lot of people now saying, I want to be the next Jake Shimabukuro. But Jake didn't have like, I want to be, a lot of the things he did was like nobody ever did before. So that is a really interesting question. I was going to ask her about that, like, how he imagined, that he could actually be like this solo musician. Because when Jake, I don't know if you guys know this, but when Jake first got kind of popular as a ukulele player, he was playing with a band called Pure Heart, and they had a guitar player, percussionist, and Jake played the ukulele, and the guitar player sang, and they got really popular in Hawaii. Then a few years later, I don't know, something happened with them, and then they started a new band, and that band was called Cologne, and they were actually starting to get kind of popular, and then something happened, I don't know, and then Jake said, you know what, I'm just gonna play solo. And a lot of the people that he respected at that time, I mean, not a lot, but a few of them, said, solo? Nobody, no, nobody, I mean, it's not going to work. You're not going to make it if you play solo because nobody plays solo. And nobody wants to watch a ukulele player play by himself for like an hour. It's not going to work. You just got to find a new band. But somehow he said, no, I think I can do it. And, these are people he respected, and he just did it anyways, and it worked. So I am kind of curious about that, like how stubborn do you have to be to actually go through with this and make it happen? But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I will. Yeah, I should ask him about that. All right. So okay, so I'm gonna start wrapping up. I have a few other things I have to do today. Anybody got any questions regarding the lesson or just anything ukulele related? Anything else you want to know about Jake? I might actually be telling you things that he might not want people to know. I don't even know. I talk a lot. Oh, my pleasure. Okay, so I know some of you might think like, oh, today was a very simple class. Oh yeah, Cindy, you have to learn your notes. Cindy, are you familiar with my YouTube channel? Every day is Ukeday here. So, okay, you just started. So I forget which episodes, but you'll slowly learn your notes. Okay, when you go to my YouTube channel and you go on Every Day is Ukeday, um, click on my playlist, because the playlist. So let's see. So where is it? Channel. Okay, yeah. So when you go to Every Day's Ukeday, you'll see videos like this. But click on playlists. Oh, wow, this is hard. Playlists. Yeah, and when you click on my playlist, then you'll get all the, you see it? Well, you can't see it, but if you click on playlist, then you'll get all the videos in order, starting with the names of the strings, basic picking techniques. Then we kind of move on to like the F note and the D note. And then the next video goes into like the C major scale. So that would be the way to go. So yeah, so click on the playlist, and in the first few videos, that's what we're learning, basic picking techniques and your notes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, this is, I mean, it is funny. I mean, to be honest, when I was younger, I didn't, I, I wouldn't be teaching these things because I didn't really think they were too important. But, going through like, being with the Sony Music Japan, recording CDs, things like that, touring. I mean, these are things you have to learn. And if you can't do it, your label will tell you, hey, you gotta do this. And then you start to realize that the things that really matter in music is different from what I thought, when I was a lot younger. So now that I have a lot more experience as a teacher and as a musician, I'm happy that I can kind of come back and say, okay, well, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't be moving too fast. Let's try to learn how to like pick nicely first. Okay, yeah, Wendell, I will definitely do that. And then Cho, thank you. Yeah, so keep continuing to work on that. You're not that, I mean, you're not that far I mean, it's just a small little adjustment with your thumb that you have to get comfortable with. And the reason why this is important is if you watch how my thumb goes down the string. See how simple this is? You see how relaxed I am? This is what allows me to kind of connect the notes nice and easy because my fingers are so relaxed, okay? But your fingers are a little bit too stiff right now, okay? And that's why you're having a hard time connecting the notes. And like I was saying, like the do, 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 do. It's really hard to connect it when you're saying do. And the way that you're picking is kind of close to like saying do, do, do. And the way that I'm picking is a little closer to the la, 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 la. Right? Something like that. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So just take your time with it. As long as you get comfortable with your thumb and you can pick softly and nicely, everything will start to come into place after that. Okay. Oh, did anyone record? Wait, Angie, didn't I allow you to record, Angie? Oh, okay. Yeah, don't worry. We didn't do anything important today. Just okay, you guys. Hey, I had a lot of fun. And then tomorrow, if this is your first time, tomorrow we're having the intermediate class if you want to join that. And oh, thank you, Kelly. Next time, I'm good. I'm actually having one right now. Okay, so you guys are, yeah, so Sunday, if you guys want to join in, 2 o'clock, looking forward to that. And yeah, email me with anything. I'll do my best to take care of you guys, and hope to see you guys soon. All right?
Thank you.
All right. You guys take care. All right, thank you.
Thank you.